Welcome back to Fair Play Fellowship, where we always play fair. Sorry for the delay for all 0 of you watching. We had a few technical difficulties, so forgive us. Anyways, how did you feel about the episode? Overall thoughts? Go.
Before I get to the episode, I
Yes.
gotta say, I love your new setup. You
Thank
got the
you. I will work
pug.
hard on it. Yeah,
I think
Benjamin.
maybe knowing how you are, I'm gonna go ahead and guess that you put your favorite seasons of Survivor up front on those DVDs.
I figured I have a couple, like 20-ish seasons on DVD. I'll probably interchange them. So we got 1, 2, 7, 20 heroes versus villains, and then down here we got 10. So it's just
Okay,
kind of
got it.
a hodgepodge. I'll mix it up here and there, and then I got some books that I enjoy and some whiskeys, bourbons, scotches.
Very
A little
nice.
bit about me, and then Benjamin over here with his cigar, named after a good friend of my grandpa's dog. You, I
Sounds
think.
good. It looks
how's,
great.
how's that dog doing?
My dog?
No,
Oh,
Benjamin.
Benjamin. Benjamin is he's no longer with us.
Okay, okay. I thought that
Yeah,
might have been
my
a
grandparents'
possibility, but
dog.
hey, in remembrance of Benjamin, here he is.
Yeah, it
Anyway,
doesn't look anything like him.
no, not at all. He was a Shih Tzu, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Mm.
Anyways, what was the question?
Overall thoughts on the episode, without getting too much into it, we'll go tribe by tribe again, like we did last week.
I thought the episode was pretty predictable, and I feel ready to start seeing some more screen time for the Yellow Tribe and the Red Tribe. They've kind of both got some early snippets in there, but having to stick around this blue team uh, wasn't my favorite. Even though
Yep.
I will say I'm happy with my Sophie pick and my Jake pick as of right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty crazy how little. Like, I feel like we got more from the red than yellow, and it's probably because of the 2 people on 50. Um, but the yellow tribe, like, we get the one little tidbit of them approaching MC to be their fourth, and then MC not feeling too good about it and going to Sophie and being like, this is what's happened. Matt, Christina, Steven all want to get in on this thing, and I'm their fourth, but I'm not really too sure about that. So I just wanted to let you know. And that's it. That's the only thing we got from Yellow. They're not losing next week either, based on just that. Like, not
Yeah.
a single thing. Jason, I'm getting ahead of myself, but Jason once again killed the puzzle but had 0 confessionals. So he's basically an afterthought until the merge. He'll probably make the whole tribe's probably going to make the merge, and then people are just going to go left and right from the yellow tribe because they're going to be too strong or something.
Yeah.
But any thoughts on the yellow tribe? We can just blow right by them.
Yeah, actually, I like MC's move there to kind of go to Sophie because I think I would do the same thing. As soon as I realized that I was fourth man of a four-person alliance,
Yeah.
my immediate thought would be that I need stronger ties to these other people to start building, maybe try to plant a crack in between the 3 that are ahead of me.
Mm-hmm.
And then if not, at least have backup for if you do make the merge with the entire team, you have a tie to a 4 that you can say you have, but also have stronger ties with the outcast of that tribe
Right.
without actually having to do any type of damage or get blood on your hands.
Yeah.
So strong gameplay by MC. I liked her when you drafted her. Wasn't too surprised to see it. And Jason, dude knows puzzles. As soon as they started that puzzle, I looked at Emily and I was like, he's about to smoke this.
It
And I knew
seriously,
that.
it cut away for 5 seconds, cut back, and the puzzle was almost done. Like,
Yeah,
he
I looked at it. I was like, holy
crushed that
cow,
puzzle.
he's smoking this.
Yeah. I
So,
agree with you. I think that MC made the right move. I think honestly the wrong move was how Matt said it. Like, Matt saying, hey, we have a 3, we want you to be the 4th.
And it sucks because he's actually the one that wanted her in the beginning.
Right. Yeah, it's unfortunate how he pitched it, because if he would've just said, "Hey, MC, I really like you. I wanna go far with you. What do you think of these 2 people?" and pitched it that way,
Exactly.
completely different game going forward. But now
Yeah.
MC's all
I
skeptical and,
I
you
think
know.
she is, but I do think that Matt's, personality, he seems like the loyal kind. So,
Mhm,
I think that will show up for him in
mhm.
a good way before something bad goes wrong for that tribe just because of how well they're doing. So, I
Yeah,
think he's got plenty of time to be in great relations with everybody on that tribe, really.
right.
And I like
But
him
it
a
was
lot. When he did
I
that little magic trick with the fire, I was like, "Dude, that was
Oh, yeah.
sweet."
Yeah, I will say, like, Matt, I mean, I love Matt. He is definitely someone I'm rooting for, would love to see him go far. But MC saying, like, "I really like Steven, but I don't trust Matt." I was like, "What has Matt done
I
to
know.
seem not trustworthy?" I just don't understand that,
It's
but
and it's the opposite of what she should have read through this, but again, it's because Matt phrased it
right.
wrong. Had he phrased it
Yeah,
right, I think it'd be swapped, but
right. Yeah, I agree, but, like, other than what we just talked about from Yellow, not a lot. I mean, Matt went on the journey, and, threw a couple coconuts, but nothing really came of that either, so otherwise, I guess we can say the Yellow Tribe had a huge disadvantage going into the immunity challenge and still found a way to win it, despite
yeah.
having 20 pounds of coconuts on each of their backs and having to go through 10 keys. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's very obvious that their energy level is off the charts compared to the Blue Squad.
oh yeah, Blue
Um,
was in the dumps.
yeah, I enjoyed that talk between Jawan and, Yellow Tribe, but I do believe Jawan was being authentic. Like,
Mhm.
I just don't wanna dump on Blue team. But, I mean,
Yeah,
how could you not feel like it's an attack?
right.
So, I totally get it, but I
Yeah,
still enjoyed that small banter, like, "Well, okay, whatever. You can think that
yeah,
whenever you're ready, Uncle Jeff."
Uncle Jeff, yeah, yeah. I think
Yeah.
it's most times I could be wrong about this, but I feel like in most seasons of this new era with the 3 tribes and, if a person ever gets a choice to dismantle a tribe, they do it. So, like, I do feel like the typical move would be to disadvantage Blue to make them go down another number. So Jawan, I think he was being genuine as well, saying, "Let's disadvantage Yellow." So it's, Blue's been suffering, let him, have a chance or whatever, but it didn't matter. It did
Yeah,
not
I
matter.
think had it been me that had that disadvantage available, first off, I would have made the same selection. I would have chose to disadvantage a team rather than steal a vote that early in the game. However, I think I would have liked to have tacked on to blue, just for the sake of obviously yellow has stronger players. So when this merge happens, I'd rather be in their good graces than blue.
Mhm.
But with that said, I would also say, okay, well, it's our tribe advantage now against the other tribes. What do you guys think we should do with it? And of course, that might have been what happened. It just didn't show up in the edit. But,
Sure.
if they all said, no, we need to tack yellow with it, then I'd
Right.
say, yeah, okay, let's do it. But if it was my
Yeah.
personal decision, I would have just dumped it onto blue.
Right. Yeah, see, first of all, I'm taking the steal a vote. No question.
Yeah, I
And
know
I
that.
think it's I mean, I guess being able to come back and say probably for Jawan, it was probably the right move. Being able to
Yeah,
come back and say, "Look, I have this thing that says tribal advantage." L you know, there's no way to depict if that he lied. He clearly is telling the truth because he has a thing that says tribal advantage. On a
yeah,
lot of these journeys in the new era, and Jake even mentioned it, like, "I'm going back to tribe or back to, our tribe without a vote." So the fact that they didn't do it this journey, I loved that because they'll probably show it. I'm sure they had to be some sort of like side conversations of did they actually lose a vote, or did they gain an advantage, or like there's no way just nothing happened.
Yeah.
So for
I
Jake,
thought that too, yeah.
yeah, so like if I'm Jake or Matt, I'm going back to my tribes and saying I lost my vote because I know that they are already going to assume that either I have an advantage or I lost my vote, and I'd much rather them
Yeah.
assume I lost my vote and actually have it. And I imagine those conversations probably happened, but obviously just didn't fit into the edit. So maybe we'll see it on next week's episode. Who knows? But
Yeah.
um,
I mean, they all did seem pretty receptive whenever they first
yeah,
came up, and, like, I didn't see any of the side eyes like, "This bro's lying." But,
yeah,
yeah, it coulda just happened in the
yeah.
background.
And maybe it did happen in the background, and then whenever they got to the immunity challenge and Jawan came out and said, I have my advantage, I'm disadvantaging yellow, maybe they were like, oh, okay, nothing really did happen. If I was on one of those tribes, I would be like, nah, Jake either lost his vote or he has something.
Yeah.
And for one, because I think that's what is custom in New Era, and for two, it puts a bigger target on someone else besides my back. But so far, we haven't seen anything of it, so who knows? But I
Yeah.
enjoyed that they didn't lose their vote. I'm sick of people losing their votes off of some little random mini game and not having their vote because of it. So,
Yeah.
um,
I think that I agree with that, especially since it's a forced thing. Like, they don't have the choice other than
right,
somebody has to go. So,
right,
and I was feeling bad for Juwan up to that moment because he was ending up on the outs of his tribe,
hmm,
for not great reason other than,
right,
maybe his little fire starting incident.
yeah,
And the dude just seems like a good guy. So I was feeling bad for him.
yeah,
But, that's the way it goes. But,
yeah. Whenever he came back and showed it and just started flexing, I was like, good for
yeah.
Jawan. He needed a win. He needed that
Yeah, he
win. But
did. He really
yeah,
did.
um, other things from the Red Tribe. I mean,
I was thinking about Brett the whole time the Red Tribe was being shown because, he talked about how listening to people on reality TV is like listening to nails on a chalkboard.
mhm,
And that whole bit about the modern lingo and the vibes and the cinematic,
yeah,
I was like, gosh,
cinema.
this is cringy to listen to.
Yeah,
And Emily is like, what is the age of these people? Because I feel like we're the same age and we don't talk like that. I was like, yeah, I think that they're all trying to somewhat match their language together to create that,
yeah.
that
I
vibe
also
and that.
think they're perpetually online people for the most part. Like if
Yeah,
you if
probably.
you watch streamers, like video game streamers or something, they talk like they're 18 because that's who they're playing video games with. And so like and
Yeah.
not that these people are all video game streamers or watching it, but um they're in whatever survivor community probably. So but yeah, I
Yeah,
agree. Like
that's a good
the
point.
lingo was crazy. I
Yeah, and then after they commented on how much they use the word vibe, and then when the bit
yeah,
was over, having to listen to them continue to say the word vibe and it being
yeah,
triggered in my brain that they're gonna say it, it
yeah,
made it super annoying to listen to.
yeah. Every time it came up, yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Um, I thought, I mean, I still really like Nate. Seems like he's gonna go far. Still think Savannah seems like she's on top of things and is able to observe very well.
Yeah.
Um, didn't get a lot from Rizzo this episode.
No, but I did notice, like, in the, in the competition when he tries to do that
Yes,
backwards jump into the
yes.
net.
And Jeff said tries to look cool but fails.
Yeah, yeah. But I
Yeah.
also noticed too that whenever he got up the ramp, he was first
Mhm,
one to try to help as many people as he could up to the top
mhm.
of that ramp.
Yeah,
Um, I think just from what we have seen very quickly from the Red Tribe, that to me it feels kind of obvious that Savannah's on 50 because she's the bad guy, and Rizzo's on 50 because he's just absolutely lovable.
yeah. Could be.
But
I
could be wrong,
will
but
yeah. I mean, I think so you haven't seen this season yet, but in season 38, it's a very fun season with one of your favorite things in the world, a disappointing ending. Um, but there's a news reporter on there who does the whole "this just in, I'm going to tribal tonight and I need to find an idol," that whole thing. So Savannah's little bit where she said, if I was on the news, I'd say this, and did her whole,
Mhm.
and back to you. I was like, come on, you're trying too hard to be Rick Devens. Rick Devens is also on 50, by the way, so they'll both be on 50 together.
Okay.
But it was cool. If it had never been done before, I would have loved it probably. But
Yeah,
she's
you
no Rick
probably would
Devens.
have because I liked it.
Yeah, exactly. I think I would have, but she's no Rick Devens. And if you go watch 38, at some point, whenever you watch it, you'll see and you'll be like, oh, he's a very lovable, enjoyable character. Lots of excitement surrounding him.
True, but if Savannah ends up being an absolute star this season, I'm gonna go back and watch 38 and be
That's
like,
true.
Rick Devens ain't Savannah.
Yeah, if Savannah is as entertaining as Rick, he goes by Devens because he's pretty great, so he goes by his last name. But if Savannah ends up being as entertaining as Devens, I'm gonna like Savannah a whole lot because Devens is one of my favorite characters of all time. I'd say
Okay.
I'd probably put him top 20 for sure. He might sneak into top 10.
Yeah.
Um,
I'd say Shannon on Red Tribe, she seems legit, dude.
yeah, she is coming around for sure. Had very low expectations of her. I thought she'd be the first one out. But she definitely seems like she's smarter than she initially let on.
Yeah. I mean, for the prayers that are pretty stupid, her gameplay actually seems pretty smart.
Yeah,
She seems like she has a good understanding of forming her alliance without coming on too strong, but also kind of putting herself centerpiece to an alliance that I think looks like the strongest alliance in the game.
yeah.
But
I think it probably will be. I think so. Funny thing about Shannon is I'm pretty sure in her interview she talks about this, or maybe I found it through the dark webs of Survivor. But
Mhm.
Shannon is a waiter at or no, Boston Rob. Yeah. Boston Rob was a waiter at Shannon's dad's restaurant, like whenever he first got cast on the show. So
Okay.
they know each other. They're like family friends or something. So Shannon got lots of advice from Boston
Mentorship.
Rob on
Yeah.
hey, here's the numbers. And in her interview, she says, she's like, Boston Rob gave me a lot of number advice, but I'm much more like a vibe person. But having heard it from Boston Rob, it's still there. Like she has to know some Survivor logic, intellect.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, Boston Rob's pretty overrated.
you haven't. I mean, that's fine.
I'm just
That's
kidding. I'm kidding.
listen. Of all of your takes, that's not one of the bad ones. I feel like,
Really?
yeah. So Boston Rob, he's on that Mount Rushmore of Survivor because, I mean, he's played 5 times
Mhm.
and he's won once, and he has another one of the greatest, two of the most dominant seasons ever. He's the dominant factor. One of them he wins, one of them's a bitter jury. So, but if he doesn't win, he goes out early. That's kind of his whole thing. It's like he either doesn't make merge or he goes to the end. So,
Got
but
it.
anyways, he knows his Survivor stuff. Like he knows numbers, he knows his whatever. So him giving Shannon any sort of advice is probably helpful, considering she's
Yeah.
not a numbers person, by default. Um,
Mhm.
but I felt like this episode kind of flew by because red and yellow. I mean, we got a little from red, we got hardly anything from yellow, and then
Yeah.
blue was the focal point, obviously. Um, I mean, Annie, typical Survivor episode where one person feels overconfident the entire episode and thinks she has it secure, but
Yeah.
turns
I think
out,
like the first 3 minutes of the blue team being presented, I
yep,
was like, this girl's going home tonight.
yeah, yeah,
And I knew
yeah,
they would try to throw a little switching bait at
Of
the end
course.
with the edit, but
Right.
and Emily was like, "Well, who knows? Maybe he's actually not scared to use it." I was like, "Yeah, he's not scared to use it, but he's also not dumb enough to use it. The dude would be
Yeah.
blowing a four-person alliance for no
Right.
reason."
Yeah.
So,
Speaking of the idol, Alex, I'm so annoyed because, like, first of all, when he found the advantage, he said, "Oh, Jake, look at this." He could have easily pocketed that and not shown
yeah,
Jake.
yeah,
That was mistake number one. And then I don't know if it was Jake or him or they agreed to it, but then calling Sophie over. And then I get it, once you've called Sophie over, you might as well let the entire tribe know. But then, they told Jeremiah, and then he tells Annie individually. At that point, I think that's the right move, telling Annie individually, because then he can talk about it at the tribal and pretend like he doesn't know that anyone knows, but he's the only one who actually knows everyone knows.
yeah,
So he kind of like regained the power by being the only one to know everything. But
yeah,
dude, don't tell Jake. Open the advantage by yourself and then determine, do you need Jake? I can't
yeah.
even get it. Like that's
I do think he is very Survivor smart. I think
mm,
he just had a little too much Survivor excitement in the moment
yeah,
that whenever he saw a Beware advantage, he's like, "Oh my gosh," and
right.
immediately just acts I bet you anything in the back of his brain, especially once Jeremiah came around, he's like,
Yeah,
"Why did I ever say
yeah.
anything about this?" But Jeremiah, real quick, dude, he is my favorite person on the Blue
Dude,
Tribe.
I think he might be mine too. He is
He is
let me think.
hilarious.
Him hold the whole shaking the coconut thing for the water and being like, "Annie, is this the right amount?" Like,
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm loving Jeremiah.
When
Um,
he said he was writing Annie's name down on the beach and then they
and then
zoomed in on his laugh,
yes,
dude,
yes,
I'm not kidding. Every time that dude laughs, I am laughing on the
yeah,
couch. It is
yeah,
so contagious. It is
yeah,
hilarious. But
yeah, I'm
yeah, man, your
loving Jeremiah.
draft pick with Annie, oof,
Horrible.
so far, that's the worst draft pick. Even though my player went first, I feel like Annie was worse.
I will say she got me some fantasy points for hugging Jeff on the way out, so that's
Oh,
the only
yeah?
thing I'm really holding on to.
I haven't
Um,
seen the score actually, but I was like, "Oh,
I don't
yes,
know
she
if
got
it's
voted out."
updated yet. Um, I can look into
I
it, but
noticed I noticed a couple of 100% and stuff like that, but
yeah. Oh, yeah, okay, it has updated. Um, currently oh, no, it says it's live scoring, but it has not updated since, the episode ended, so, don't know yet, but you'll probably pull closer to me because I lost Annie. Um, I am not
yeah,
sad to lose Annie based on how her first 2 episodes were, I guess her only 2 episodes.
yeah,
I'm glad she went. I would much rather her have gone than anyone else on Blue Tribe, even though I don't have Jeremiah, or
yeah.
Jake. Um, but yeah,
I
so
just I don't think I can't imagine Blue winning next week after not eating no fire, rare
yeah,
coconuts,
yeah,
and I saw a
that's
clip on YouTube from Probe. She'd be proud of me as extra content that I found,
yes, good.
and it was just him talking about how hot it was in Fiji during
Yeah,
season 49. Said it's absolutely brutal, and this team just seems like they're absolutely crushed right now,
right.
physically and like mental and spiritual too.
Yeah, like the brain fog. I mean, that's a real
Yeah,
thing. I mean, Sophie can't
yeah.
even finish the thought, and then whenever he goes to Jeremiah, Jeremiah's like, wait, what was the question again?" Like,
Yeah, like
that's
5 words into his response.
yeah, like, he hadn't even started forming his thought. Uh, but yeah, I agree, like, I think I remember hearing that as well, that this season is, like, one of the hotter seasons that's in Fiji. For whatever
Yeah,
reason, they just got a hot season, so, also something that Jeff said, he always kinda gives, like, a little, elevator pitch for a season, and he said about this season that it's a strong second half season. So, like, while neither one of the first 2 episodes have been bad, they've just been kinda predictable. Like, I
yeah,
think Nicole going for the Blue Tribe week 1 was the right move. Annie going this week was the right move. So, like, I don't
yeah,
I it is what it is. Um, I'm not mad at it like I'm mad at some seasons who were, just to throw out a season 46 with Banu. We got 3 episodes in a row of basically the exact same thing because Banu was just whining about, needing to stay. And it's a good season except for that portion. So it's not like that. They're
I
decent
haven't seen that
episodes.
one either.
Yeah, 46 is there's like 3 people from 46 on 50. So it would be one that you might want to watch before 50. New Era, they'll probably get some screen time. Has one of my favorite players that's from the New Era on 50. You'll probably hate him. And then
Oh, we need to talk about the Shoe Bandit again too.
yeah. So let's talk about that. So the Shoe Bandit, I loved
Go
it.
ahead and yeah, I was gonna say go ahead and admit that it was a bad take.
I no
It
no 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 no.
it got
No, no.
worse.
It him I love that this time it was almost like spiteful or like vengeful of like, oh, she said my name, I'm gonna steal her shoe. So it's so stupid, but it's funny. But what I didn't like is that there was no like punchline. No, nothing ever came of it. He hid the shoe, and then editors didn't include her looking for her shoe. So like,
Well,
it would
she
have been
didn't notice
funny
it
if,
was gone
yeah, I understand that, but
because
like,
Sophie found it and she's like, "What's this shoe doing over here?" And Andy's like, "That's my shoe."
well,
I just
I don't
think
know.
it's I just think it's bad gameplay at the end of the day. I think it's very small. Like I don't think it's important gameplay, but the fact that I don't think this guy's very smart. I think he's all muscle, no brain,
Yeah.
because to immediately go after someone who you
Wait.
know's going for you, do you say wait?
Yeah, did I miss something in the episode? Because like, I feel like he went and was like, I don't he said, "I don't know which shoes are hers," and then he picked up some shoes, and Sophie said or Jeremiah, didn't know who said it, someone said,
Yeah,
"Those are my shoes," and then he
yeah,
says, "Oh, whose are these?" They say, "Annie's," and then he picks up Annie's left shoe and goes and hides it.
yeah,
So did someone find Annie's left shoe?
yeah. Sophie ended up finding the shoe and came back to the tribe came back to Annie while she's sitting there, and she's like, "Hey, this shoe's like over here in the middle of nowhere. What's it doing over here?" And Annie's like, "That's my shoe. What the heck?" And she checks her
I
bag,
don't
and she's like, "No,
I
that is my shoe."
I must have been tending to Miller or something because I did not see that part. That would
Yeah,
make me feel
it
better
was
about it because at least something came of it. I thought that it just wasn't even mentioned, and I was like,
yeah,
"What in
no,
the
no.
why did."
It came full circle, but there was I mean, I think I'd rather have just nothing happen because
Yeah.
it would carry on the next episode because she found it and uh Jake is right there and he's like, "Oh, yeah, that's weird. That's weird." He says that's weird like 4 times, then he walks off. But anyways, to me, like if I was the shoe bandit, I would mess with someone's shoe, and then
Yeah.
the very next shoe I messed with would be my own
Right.
to deflect.
Yep.
But this guy's like, "What? It's like day 5 and someone says something about me? Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take her shoe." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Dude, you're" and then to be caught halfway through it,
Yeah,
and
that
Jeremiah's
part
like, "Those are
like
my shoes." And he's like, "Oh,
yeah.
well, whose are these?" How
Yeah.
does not everybody know? How does everyone not know that it's him already? I'm like, "This
That's
guy
what
sucks."
yeah, I had a thought of, like, if they ever do a tribe swap, which they do some seasons, they don't other seasons. Like, if, for example, Jake and Jeremiah get swapped to
Yeah.
the same tribe, and then a shoe goes missing, Jeremiah's gonna be like, "Okay, shoes are always going missing, and Jake's the only person from my tribe." And
Yeah, and the other tribe, the shoes are not gonna be going missing, and they're gonna be
right.
like, "Oh."
Yeah, exactly. So, I think it's I don't think it's good gameplay. Like, in no way does it benefit Jake's game to be doing this. I'm happy about it because it's kind of funny, and I feel like the only reason they're still showing it is because something's gonna come of it. And, like,
I don't know. I
either
think that they might have just been such predictable episodes that they're like, "Well." We'll throw
Let's put
this
a
in there.
shoe banded episode. Yeah. That's true. That could be a possibility. They
Yeah.
have, yeah. I mean, they got to fill the episode with something. So, um, but otherwise, I feel like Alex going into next week has to play his idol. Everyone knows about it. There is no reason to hang on to it. I
Yeah.
would like the four, Jeremiah, I guess, is the fourth. So he's in danger. But if they go to tribal council again, which at this point it kind of looks like they might, because who else is going to lose? Um, I don't care how secure I feel with Jake and Sophie. I'm playing that idol. I told Riley I would have played it tonight. Like, even if it was for myself and not Annie to do some crazy move. Like, there's no reason to hold on to that idol because it basically has zero power if everyone knows about it. I think it does. It's as much as a curse as it is a benefit because everyone knows about it, so you're going to be targeted for it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's a good point. I never thought about that. I guess that's what comes with 49 seasons of experience in watching Survivor.
of course,
But I do think he is genuinely Sophie's number one and Jake's number one, that he could be safe enough to not play it from a third person point of view watching the show. But yeah, I do agree. I guess from his perspective, he should see it that way and he should probably play it next week. But
well, like,
I think he'd be safe one more week. I think he's
I
in the golden spot on that tribe.
see, but I don't know. I feel like Survivor players think like that, and they're like, well, he knows he's safe this week. Going into next week, if he plays it, then it's if for some reason they get down to 3 and then they go to tribal again, Sophie and Jake aren't going to like the odds of 50-50. So they're going to say at 4, let's get rid of Alex because then it's a 33% chance instead of 50-50.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I agree with you.
It would be up to Sophie and Jeremiah to pull a move,
Right.
because I don't think Jake's going to swap on him.
No, I don't think so either. I mean,
He's
Jake did
too
have this.
adamant about that bromance.
Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah, he's not a very. It's not there.
Bad pick.
Yeah. Like I said, I when I picked him, I was like, I don't think this guy's going to make it to merge, but we'll see.
If he does, he'll win some challenges, maybe. I mean, honestly, he doesn't even seem that good at challenges.
I think, man, I think Jake goes next. That's my thought.
You think Blue loses again?
I do, and I think Jake goes because of it.
Yeah, I think.
I think there's going to be the whisper at camp that Alex has the idol. Alex is going to play the idol, and they know that he's probably going to play the idol, so they're going to put their votes onto Jake. That's the only way I can see it happening.
I hope that happens because I feel like the alternative is Alex tells Jake he's playing his idol, and then Jake and Alex vote Jeremiah. And I'd hate to see that. I'd much rather Jake go than Jeremiah. Jeremiah is fun. I want him on my screen for longer.
Yeah, he's smart too.
Smart, yeah, great. He seems like he's got a great mind for the game. So,
yeah,
I'm enjoying all his takes for sure. But I think there's no way Yellow loses because they haven't gotten nearly enough screen time. I think there's a chance Red loses, but I also think there's a chance Red's just getting screen time because of the 2 players on 50. And
so if Red loses, who do you think goes next week?
I mean, Savannah had her confessional saying, Juwan might have just earned himself, some more time because of his whole tribal advantage thing. But I guess it's got to be. I think I'd still say Juwan. Like, I think he's getting enough screen time to where it's like he either is going to continue to make it far or get voted out right now. He's not just some invisible person. Like, I feel like Sage is kind of, besides her liking poop, don't know anything about Sage.
Well, she also collects pimples, but
yeah, and collects pimples. Just disgusting. Listen, we
Yeah.
have currently
I'm
3 viewers.
I'll take my shot in the
It's an
dark, and I'll just
all-time
say,
high.
what is?
3 viewers, an all-time high.
Oh, hey, everybody.
So you're
Yeah.
probably all just either my parents or friends from the Discord, but if you're a rando, feel free to comment. Well, actually, even if you're not a rando, comment. We'll shout you out. We'll respond to you. Um, anyways,
Um,
go ahead. Your take is what?
I said shot in the dark, and that was no pun intended. That's just something I
Mhm.
say. But I think Sage goes for red, and it's just my guess because we don't have enough screen time to really
Yep.
make a prediction there. But if red does lose, I'd propose a $10 bet that it's Sage and not Juwan.
Okay. I
But you only win it if Juwan goes.
and you only win it if Sage goes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no bet.
Yeah.
Um,
Cancels out.
yeah, sure, let's do it. Why not? Make it a little more entertaining, more fun. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think either one of them could go. I guess I could see a world where Nate goes. I think Shannon, Savannah, and Rizzo are completely safe. Um, and I do think Nate is kind of in that is going to be the fourth. Because even on the next time on Survivor, Savannah says something like, "If I want Sage to go, she's going to go. I could make her go." She has a confessional where she says that. So,
On the
um,
next episode?
yeah, where it's like next time on Survivor, and then she says in a confessional, "If I want Sage to go, she'll go," or something like that.
Okay.
So,
That makes me think Juwan's going, actually.
well, too late. Already shook on it, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think it's still. I don't. I mean, that's the kind of thing they put in there, and either Jawan goes or Blue goes back to Tribal Council.
Yeah.
And if I
I don't
really put
know. Sorry, go ahead.
no, if I really put money on him, I'd put money that Blue goes back to Tribal Council, not
Yeah,
that
me
Red
too.
goes.
I agree.
So
I agree. I was gonna say Brett said that he nearly threw up at the Gen Z lingo. I don't know if he jumped on when we first started, but Brett, I said the exact same thing.
yep,
It was gross.
yeah. He even shouted you out, Brett. He said,
Yeah.
like Brett said. So you're gonna have to go back and rewatch this episode just to hear your shout out. But made me like the Spider-Man guy the most. Is that Nate? Is that the Marvel guy?
Oh yeah, maybe so. I was thinking maybe he meant Juwan at first, but
Jawan kind of gives Spider-Man vibes, but
no, that makes
Nate,
sense. Yeah, Nate, because Nate was like, I have no idea what they're saying.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. Oh,
yeah, I
right,
like Nate a lot actually.
yeah,
He's someone that I definitely wish I had. Yeah,
just with the
Jawan and
glasses.
Nate both have glasses.
Yeah, so thanks for that, Brett. That's really
But
narrowing it down.
but Brett, you are talking about Nate. You're talking about the guy that produced Black Panther
The
and
older guy.
yeah, the older gentleman. But
But keep watching, learn their names, Brett. And then
I'm curious, as a seasoned survivor,
sure.
I've seen some hype about the tribal setting and the shipwrecked.
Yep.
Where does it fall for you? And I know that off the top of your head, you don't have like a top 10, but would you say around the top 10 or bottom 10 as far as like where you think the setting falls?
Yeah, I think it's definitely up there. Here's what I'll say. As far as the Fiji sets go, it's definitely up there. But like they've done tribals on the side of waterfalls before. And you
That is
can't
sick.
really yeah, you can't really beat that. But in Fiji they have the same set and then they just redesign the same set. So like
Yeah.
as far as Fiji sets go, very, very good. I'm pretty sure during pandemic times, the might have been 43 and 44 where they basically came out and said we have a 43 set and then underneath the 43 set is the 44 set. So if you like go back and watch those two seasons, it's like, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but it's something like little teepee huts is kind of the theme for 43, and then they lift the teepee huts and there's like stuff under it that's for 44. So you
Gotcha.
don't, I mean, you don't know that unless you listen to Jeff Probst's podcast On Fire, which is the second best podcast, Survivor podcast. Um, Actually, I'll
Yeah.
say third best because I like the specialists personally, but um, number one is obviously us. You know, all three viewers agree with us, probably, potentially. But anyways, yeah. So of the Fijian sets, I put it up there. Um, but I mean, it's super cool. Like the shipwreck
Yeah.
vibe is really cool. So
It looks. I There wasn't a whole lot to it, but I thought the China tribal set was pretty cool.
yeah, yeah,
But
I like the
I've
China
only
one.
seen a few, so
Yeah, I mean, they have some really cool ones. So it's
yeah.
and then some are just not that cool. But um, yeah, I mean, I enjoy it. I am hoping there's like rumors going around about I don't know how much truth there is to these rumors about Survivor going to a once a year US season and once a year Australian season, and if they do that, moving to a back to the visiting different countries instead of just staying in Fiji. And if they do that, then obviously tribals will change significantly more. I don't know how realistic that actually is and if that's actually going to happen or not, but because currently, I mean, they can do however much they want to the set. It's essentially all the same thing. It's not on the side of a waterfall. So,
Yeah.
but
But I mean, putting an entire ship out there is pretty sick.
yeah, no, it's pretty cool. It's probably just styrofoam though. So,
Why do you have to ruin stuff like that for me?
I mean, maybe not. Maybe it's cardboard, you know. But
They pulled that thing straight from the ocean.
yeah, probably so.
It's like
Okay,
the
so
first time someone explained to me that on House Hunters, they don't actually just look at 3 houses and pick one. I was like, "What?" I used to watch that show with my mom all the time, and someone said that to me, and I was like, "Dude, I can't watch this fake crap anymore."
yeah, it's like they've actually been looking for months or something, and
Yeah, I
yeah,
was like, "Dude, they hit all 3 of these they probably 3 days in a row."
yeah,
But,
yeah,
oh, they just switched their clothes in between sets, basically.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, not quite. Um, so going into next week, who do you think is in good shape, bad shape? Bad shape from each tribe, good shape from each tribe.
Just one person each.
I mean, yeah, you can name a few, but overall, choose one.
Well, in our Hina tribe, Yellow tribe, I think obviously Jason's gonna be good. I think they're gonna be thinking we have to keep the tribe strong. And I mean, you have a Democrat on the sideline screaming at everyone to dig in while she watches. So I'm
Man,
gonna have to say Christina's in the rough spot for yellow.
okay,
And then you got your Keeley tribe. I think Alex obviously is in a good spot. He has the idol. He also has 2 people that want him as their number 1 person.
no,
So
Sophie and Alex are fighting over Nate. I mean, fighting over Jake. Sophie was saying, I get jealous because I want Jake as my number one. And Jake has a confessional saying, I
oh
have
no,
two
you're
number
right.
ones.
You're right. I still
So
think that I think Alex is safe
I
because if
agree.
he has Jake going to bat and Sophie is, I don't know. You're right. She has been adamant about trying to attack the person that she's a little bit jealous of, whatever.
Mhm.
Oh man, but he has the idol. I have to think that he's
Right.
safe. So I think Jake is in trouble for that tribe. That does
Yeah.
throw a wrench in a couple things. So I was not thinking back on all my words, but anyways, on red team, I'm gonna stick with my bet pick and say that Sage is in trouble. I think she's just the most weird, and if all she's providing for the team is humor, I don't think they're gonna see her as an asset, and so she's probably gonna go. And then safest, I mean, it could be between Rizzo or Savannah, but I would say Savannah probably has the strongest like read on the whole group,
Yeah.
and so I think she's probably in the most dominant position for red.
Yeah. I yeah, I agree with basically everything you said. I'd say Alex because he's got the idol for blue, and I think I mean, if he just has to play it. in my opinion, there's zero reason not to play it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you're just trying to hang on to it till the merge, I suppose, but play it and go find another one. Why not? Um, so I would probably say, I'll say Jeremiah. Unfortunately, like I think Jeremiah is going to be in danger of the three of them being like, let's just do the easy vote and not worry about this. And then hopefully, if you're Sophie or Jake, Alex still plays this idol, and maybe Jeremiah and Sophie get together and say, let's just put two on Alex to force the idol, and then the bromance of Jake and Alex vote out Jeremiah. So
Yeah.
I'd probably say Jeremiah's in the worst shape, and I'd say Alex is in the best shape just because of his idol. And then for yellow, um, again, we're not getting anything from yellow. So if for some reason they went, it would be, I mean, they'd have to get a ton of the episode next week, more than a typical loser tribe would get, because there's not even like any sort of foreshadowing really, except for Steven making alliances with everyone, um, and
Yeah.
Jason being great at puzzles, and then MC and Sophie having a bond. So I'd probably put MC as the safest because the three want her, and then she's also in with Sophie. And I feel like that leaves them in a position of like they'd have to grab Jason. So I'd probably say MC's the safest, and then I hate to say it, but her even just saying negative things about not trusting Matt makes me want to say Matt's the least safe, because we haven't really heard anyone else being targeted except for Sophie, I guess. So, but I'm going to say Matt is in the worst shape. And
No,
then
I don't think so, because
I don't think so.
they competed well, they won, and if they lose, it's going to be because there's a weak member playing. Christina's not going to be able to sit out, and I think that tribe is they're in the words of the season survivor, they're vibing together because of how well they compete together. And if they
Yeah,
have a weak link, it's going to be Christina. And so if they fall, I think they're all going to be eyes on Christina. I think the edit's going to show a bunch of strategic, oh
sure.
well, this, but I think they're just going to vote off the weakest link, just like Blue Team did.
Yeah, I could see that happening based on Jeff's elevator pitch of the tribe or the season really picks up in the second half. So if it is just predictable, the person who's the weakest goes home, yeah, I could see Christina going. I'm still going to say Matt because I think Steven and Christina were vibing pretty hard. And I think MC said in her confessional, like, I like Steven and Christina, but I just don't trust Matt. So I'll stick with Matt as my most likely to go. I really hope not, because I'm enjoying Matt a lot.
Yeah, me too.
And then Red Tribe, I will say Savannah just because I think she's in a more dominant position than Rizzo as far as being the safest. And then I know we already made the bet, but I'd probably agree with you that Sage is in the worst shape just based on we made the bet and then we talked about the next time on Survivor. So, and because she says, but that's probably a red herring. So if Red loses, yeah, Sage goes, but I'm pretty sure Blue's going to lose next week.
Yeah, I agree.
Winner pick, still Savannah for me. I know that's probably the consensus choice, but if I can't pick a 50 person, I will say I'm off of Sophie or Alex now. If I
Okay.
couldn't pick a 50 person, oh gosh, no, I'm not. I'm not off Sophie and Alex. They're the only other ones getting screen time.
I think if it's not Sophie Alex, or sorry, if it's not top 50, I don't think it's Sophie Alex. I would actually say Shannon.
Mm,
So
yeah,
I think she's going to be, in a strong 3 with specifically Savannah. So
yeah.
I think Shannon's going to go far. I could be wrong, but
I'll say if I am not picking Savannah or Rizzo, and I don't think it's Sophie, and I after this episode, I don't think it's Sophie. Um, I probably still stick with Alex just because he's getting screen time, but I would also lean towards like an MC because she kind of seems to be the only one who's getting positive content on Yellow. Like Steven had his moment of paranoia already. Matt had his moment of being not trusted by MC. I feel like Sophie's not really getting positive or negative content. Jason got 0 confessionals tonight. Kills the puzzles, but he got 0 confessionals, so he ain't winning. And I can't even think of the last person. Christina, absolutely not winning. So I'd probably say MC if I'm not going to say either of the 50 people or the blue tribe who's getting screen time.
Yeah.
But I don't hate the Shannon take either. I think Shannon could she should go far. And that's why I said in the last episode, if I'm not picking one of those two 50 people as the safest, I pick Shannon because I do think Savannah and Shannon are going to run things for a while. So.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
All right.
What else you got? Anything on Survivor?
No.
Okay.
That's everything.
Big Brother, quickly. Thoughts?
I have a lot on Big Brother.
Yeah, I know. Talk as much as you want. But
it actually won't be that long. It's just what a disgusting end to the season. As soon as Morgan got voted out.
Yeah.
And especially when you have Rachel, being the one that's sitting in with that final jury talk before they go and sit live on stage.
Yep.
And hearing her say, "Okay, everyone, pause. We're not going to be a bitter jury." It's like they're absolutely going to be a bitter jury. If she's the one that's saying that, I can't trust Rachel to not be bitter. That's crazy. They just said that so that whenever they do vote, viewers can't say that they were bitter because she'd be like, "No, we said we weren't going to be bitter.
Right.
You were bitter." And the reason why it's such a bad winner, because Ashley, first off, having to listen to her lawyer talk like she's some crazy genius after watching her play the way that she played. And my wife, she said that she actually read some Reddits where they said the edit kind of made her look more dumb for the point of her gameplay. But still, it's one thing to like throw comps strategically, but being someone who watched the game from home, Ashley was actually trying in all those comps. She just sucked. She couldn't compete. And whether that was being smart, athletic, or endurance, she couldn't hold her own. She got extremely lucky at the very end to win a final HOH whenever Vinny could have easily canceled her out had he just reread the directions.
Dude.
And then even still, like, I'd like to think that Morgan would have won had she been sitting next to Ashley. But I don't know if I can trust that jury or not. But the reason why she's such a bad winner is because imagine being a fan of Big Brother and you watch all these iconic competitions, and to go into the house and know that if I win these comps and I get blood on my hands, I'm less likely to win Big Brother. That is so horrible.
Yeah.
That's
horrible for this show.
Exactly. Because you want people to come onto the show who are willing to get blood on their hands. And this girl sucked so bad at competitions that she couldn't get blood on her hands. And so therefore she played a great strategic social game. And that's just such a bad way to run the game.
Yeah. So it's not like she was, I mean, I agree with everything you just said. It's not like she was throwing comps to avoid it. She couldn't win and then claimed, listen, I wasn't winning, and because I wasn't winning, I had to guard myself from all sides of the house. That's easy to do whenever you're not winning.
Everyone wanted you there because you could not win.
Yeah. Whereas, like, I am not saying Vinny played a perfect game in any way. He had lots of mistakes, but he won and got blood on his hands because he won. You're putting people on the block. Of course, people are going to come back and be mad at you.
It's an extreme testament to his game that he put over half the house on the block.
Yeah.
And yet still, all the way down to the final 4, final 3, final 5, they all had his back.
Yeah.
like to take him far in the game,
Mhm. Yep.
knowing he had a resume. So
Yep.
he has a resume. He's put them on the block, and they still want to take him. That level of social game is so much higher than someone who can't win anything,
Right.
who
Yeah.
goes and sits on the corner of a couch and takes long showers and
Yeah.
basically is just safe because she's so bad at the game.
Yeah. I will say that
It makes me
Ashley
sick, Will.
is I understand. I will say that Ashley is, like you said, Emily on the Reddit feeds or whatever, they discuss how the edit makes her look dumber than how she actually is portrayed in live feeds. And Big Brother does that 100%. Like they tell you to play up the dumb card or they
Yeah.
say re-say something. And I have experience with this because whenever we famously worked at Nebraska Furniture Mart together, Clay from Big Brother 17 was shopping. I saw him, and on
Yeah.
Big Brother 17, Clay is a mumbler and is portrayed as a big dummy. And when I talked to him, he sounded perfectly smart. No, there's no dumbness about him. He seemed like a
Mhm.
perfectly average or above average intellect guy.
Yeah.
But and then if I mean a ton of seasons, they tell someone to play the dumb guy and the dumb
Yeah.
girl or whatever. So
I think
it
they go even further than just saying, "Hey, pretend to be this way or that way," because
yeah,
it's very obvious that even a lot of the diary room, like, monologue is
yeah,
scripted, and you can
for
tell.
sure.
And
Yeah,
that kinda sucks.
it does suck. It didn't used to be that way. And
Yeah.
they slowly became more of like a, we know what's entertaining, do that. Be Dr. Will, be Brittany, be, all these other Janelle, all these other famous
And
people
that's
for
such
their
a bad take.
it
That's such a
is
bad the authenticity of people is what people love. That's why viewers are
yeah,
gravitated
it's
towards a Keanu or
reality
towards an
show. Yeah. We want
exactly. Yeah.
real people giving their real honest takes and being
Yeah.
horrible and being great, like, but be themselves. So, like, people, I've heard, I don't even remember what season. I don't know my Big Brother seasons like I know Survivor, but winner Jackson Mickey, he says the phrase like chestnut checkers over and
Yeah.
over and over again. And apparently that's not even like they told him, hey, keep using that because he said it once and then they like made a whole montage of him saying chestnut checkers. So,
Mhm.
like, that's such a small thing. Why did they feel the need to do that? So,
Yeah.
anyways, as far as Ashley goes, definitely one of my least favorite Big Brother winners of all time. Um, she,
Yeah.
I would have voted for Vinny because I do think his game is a much harder game to play, and he played it better. Ashley
Yeah.
did
Well,
not do anything intentionally except for make a lot of allies and then not win
yeah.
challenges. So,
You had a so when we both watched the episodes and we texted each other, something you said that like such a good point is that most of the jury seem obsessed with the idea of figuring out, hey, were you being real in this moment or were you
right.
like emotionally manipulating me? And that's the point of the game,
Yeah.
to be manipulated.
Yeah.
And he did it on a level that every single one of you are questioning whether or not it's
Mhm.
authentic. That means he's good at it.
Right.
And but I will say his one detriment,
Yep.
and I don't know if it's actually true, is that whenever the jury was talking together by themselves, they said that from Vinny, they wanted to see ownership in his
Yep.
answers.
That's what I was gonna
I
say.
s I do think, though, that even if he gave ownership, because of the way they were asking the question, it came off as if they were all their feelings
Right.
got hurt. So
Yeah.
had he owned it, I don't think it would have changed the outcome,
Yeah.
but he should have owned it in his speech because especially coming off of everything that Ashley was saying, Ashley was presenting this case for herself where everything I did was extremely intentional,
Right.
and Vinny's answers were very much, well, everything that I did in the moment was real to me, but so he
Right.
seems so less sure of his answers. So I will applaud Ashley for one thing. She was able to give a final speech.
Yep.
Shocker. She's a lawyer, but even whenever she was presenting it live, to Emily and I on the couch, I was dissecting it as she was going like, this is bogus. The way that
Right.
she's presenting is not true to how the game actually, came about. So,
Mhm.
anyways,
Yeah,
Ashley
no.
sucks,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Vinny should have owned his answers more. I don't know if it would have made a difference in how the jury voted, but if he would have said to the if he would have responded saying, "Yes, I emotionally manipulated you and I knew exactly what I was doing," even if he didn't, say you did because they all think you did.
no,
So, like
say you did, so that you get invited back to another season.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's
Yeah,
and that's probably what Vinny's living for at this point, considering dude, have you seen that him and his girlfriend are together?
I called that,
Yeah,
bro.
there's
I
like
called that.
yeah, I know. I mean, me too. I said, like, if she accepted him for so many years, why wouldn't she accept him with 500,000 or $75,000?
Yeah,
So,
you got homeboy that apparently comes from a wealthy family who's
mhm,
been attached to the umbilical for the past 7 years with no job and no future, and you dated him for 7 years, and now you're gonna act like you're not gonna date him just because you have national pressure to break up with him because he's being flirty
yeah,
with this girl. You're gonna still end up with them because you're a sucker too. Both
yeah,
of them are losers.
yeah. Apparently, they're not together, but they're hashing things out. But there's like pictures of them like laughing together. And I told Riley this earlier. She didn't watch Big Brother, or she doesn't. She watches Survivor when it's on because I have it on the TV. But I fill her in on stuff. But I told her I was like, Kelsey, the girlfriend, probably was just doing it for clout as well, saying like,
Yeah,
"Oh yeah, I'm dumping him," and her followers on Instagram probably raised significantly from
yeah.
all the Vinny stuff. I know I looked her up on Instagram trying to figure out any tea, so I'm sure other people did because I'm not even the biggest Big
Oh,
Brother
for
fan out
sure.
there. So
Yeah.
I think she did it for clout, and I think good for them. Way to do it right. But
She's not the only one who can emotionally manipulate.
yeah, yeah. I
I
wish
could see
Vinny
her
would've
being on the next
owned it.
season.
Yeah, oh, that would be pretty crazy. That wouldn't
Yeah.
surprise me one bit.
Yeah, she's probably
Uh,
gonna go to MacTown on some dude.
yeah, hey, whatever it takes. No, I
"Hey,
think
when you kissed me, was that for real?"
yeah, yeah,
Okay, you don't have my vote.
it was real in the moment, it was all, ugh, gross. Anyways, I wish Vinny was more cutthroat. He was cutthroat, but I wish he claimed to be cutthroat.
Yeah.
Um, I think that would've made all the difference. He would've become one of my favorite players, and
Yeah, that's like he had the makings of being a
yeah,
Big Brother superstar, but
yeah,
his personal decisions in the game
and the
and the
crying,
constant crying
dude.
made him so spineless looking that it was
Yeah,
hard to root for him as a man. It's
yeah.
like,
Yeah, yeah,
Keanu said it best. He's like, "All this crying, there's no testosterone, they're complaining." And he's like, "And all of that's just Vinny."
yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
"Dude, facts." And I'm
yeah.
so glad that Keanu won America's Favorite Player,
Yes.
and seeing the faces of his peers, I'm hoping that they go back and watch this season and they're like, "Dang, any one of us could have had
Yeah,
Keanu as a solid final 2,
yeah.
and he would have been loyal, first off,
Mhm.
but he also would have been extremely easy to work with if you
Yeah.
just ignore the rough edges and try to get along with the man.
Yeah. It is so the past 3 seasons, I think, the America's Favorite Players, Keanu, who was, target from early on, challenge beast, won a ton, people hated him for really no reason. Hated's a strong word, but people didn't really like him for really no reason at all. And then he wins, and people are like, "Oh my gosh, what?" And then same thing with 2 seasons ago or last season, Tucker is a challenge beast. He only makes it like 5 or 6 weeks, but same sort of thing. Huge target, goes home and is out, and he wins America's Favorite Player. And then 3 seasons ago, maybe I'm missing a season in there. Same thing, guy named Cameron. People are like, "Oh, you're a misogynist, crazy person." Wins America's Favorite Player. Like,
Yeah,
people do not understand. People in the house do not understand what America wants to see, I feel like.
yeah,
And time again, 3 times in a row, the person who wins it is not someone who they expect to win it.
yeah.
Uh, But I mean, I'm very glad Keanu won. I would love a season where all of America's favorites were in.
Oh, that's a great
That would
idea.
be that would be super fun. I'm ready for another All-Star season of Big Brother because there's a lot of great contestants over the course of the last this was season 27, over the course of the last 7 seasons even. And if they put the great contestants from the last 7 seasons, it could be a very, very fun season. But how Big Brother casts currently, it's like you get 3 good players every season.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
just like,
It
dude,
was crazy. This
yeah,
this season felt extremely predictable going into the
yeah,
comps. Like every comp, as soon as I saw what the comp was, I was like, this
yes.
person's winning this one, this person's winning this one. And I was
Mhm,
right. I swear, probably
yep,
90% of the time.
mhm,
But
yep, I agree. But
but yeah, that's all I got on Big Brother. What a devastating L with that jury, and hopefully I don't have to suffer that again with this Survivor jury. Please let me see the right winner. That's all I want when I watch these shows. Even if the season isn't that great, I want to see the right person win money at
yeah,
the end. But
I I'd love for you to watch a couple seasons. Like 2 seasons, Heroes versus Villains, for example. Great season, questionable winner by your standards, but then
vegetable, stop.
but but and then also watch like season 22 or 24, who is, in my opinion, bottom 5 seasons. But the winner is so clear from day one. And it's much more fun to watch those seasons on a rewatch, in my opinion, because you're only watching to study this person's game, essentially. But while watching it,
Yeah,
it's
I'll
like, oh,
probably never do that.
study their game.
Yeah,
No, no, I know, but like it, I don't know. They're just horrible, boring seasons because it's just dominated. So,
yeah.
but anyways, maybe you're just your views are wrong.
Well,
Could be. All right, we've been talking for too long. It's
there we
bedtime.
are.
Hey, we
Yeah,
got
it
2
is.
viewers right now. Don't know who they are.
Go
Brett
to bed.
may or may not still be on here. The other one, no idea. But
It's
hey,
not Emily,
thank
I can
you.
tell you that. That girl went to
We,
bed.
I mean, we reached a all-time high with 3 viewers at one time. So things are looking up for us, guys. Get in on the ground floor. We're going to the moon, as they say, I think. Um, like, subscribe, comment. Let us know what other content you want. If you have any ideas, throw it down in the comments. We'll figure something out. But anyways, that's all we got. So we'll see you next time. Probably next Wednesday at 11, maybe Thursday at 11, depending on technical difficulties and whatnot.
Yeah.
Uh, but we'll see you next time. See you later. Peace.
Stay classy, San Diego.